Hello! Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Els coming to you from Bemis Crafty Corner, and today I have a project for you that's a bit of a mess. Okay, it's a big mess. But we're going to do this one, okay? And since I don't know, how messy this is going to be, I didn't want to pre-make and then make, because then I'd make two messes. So we're only making one mess. So we're going to do this together. Okay? It's been a while since I've done this, but we're going to do it. So, we have some supplies. We have foam cones. We're going to need some foam cones. You are going to need, ooh, that's bad. Some Mod Podge, gloss, matte, whatever it is you want to use. You're going to need some Mod Podge, okay? A paintbrush for your Mod Podge, a pair of scissors that you don't give a crap about, some twine or jute, or you can even use floss in whatever color that you want. I'm going to be using green today. And you're going to want either flat back pearls or sequins, okay? That's about as close to glitter as I get, except for this. This is artificial snow, and you may want to use some of this, but I'm going to show you a trick to use this, okay? So that it doesn't get all over everything. Okay. So, I have my little tray to help kind of control things if I need it. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear everything that I don't need right now off the table and get out something to protect my work surface, and I'll be right back. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cover our cones with plastic wrap. I hate trying to cut this stuff, I really do. Put it back in the box. There we go. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, okay? But you do want to get them covered. And then once we have them all covered, then we can get started. There we go. Okay. Covered. All right. So we're going to be using Mod Podge for this. And I'm going to be using twine. First things first, get your Mod Podge open. That is difficult. Ha! That's okay, I have my Mod Podge opener right here. Cones covered. Jute, twine, Mod Podge. Brush. Now, if you don't like to get messy, this is not the thing for you. Because you're gonna get messy. Alright, so we're just gonna put some Mod Podge on here. And I like to work at about, 3 inches or so from the top. And then I'm going to take my twine, stay Ubu, and I'm just going to wrap it. There doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason to this, okay? Well, okay. So I was going to use my T-pin to hold that, but my T-pin has, decided that it doesn't want to be here anymore. And once we have it on there, we're going to paint over it. Now, you could end up getting these jute fibers in your Mod Podge, so if you don't want that to happen, please make sure that you put the Mod Podge into something else, okay? So we're just going to keep doing this till we get to the bottom. And not quite, because, we want to have a place to hold on to. But, as far down as we're going to go. And once we get down to our bottom distance, we don't want to go any further. Wrap it about 3-4 times there. Okay? That lets you know that's your end point. And then Mod Podge it down. And then I'm going to put Mod Podge on all of it. And I'm going to go back to the top. And then I'm going to go back to the bottom. And then I'm going to go back to the top. And I'm going to do this like 4 or 5 times. Okay? So, there's no reason for you guys to have to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video and get this part kind of done. And then I'm going to bring you guys back. So, now that I'm at the bottom, I'm just going to go back up. And then I'm going to go back down. Just like that, okay? So I'm going to do this 3-4 times until I have this, like, really well wrapped. And I want there to be light, that can go through it, but I want it to be cohesive. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And by the way, when I stop, I'm going to make sure that I do the same thing at the top that I did at the bottom. I'm going to wrap right around the top 3-4 times, okay? So, Mod Podge string, Mod Podge string, Mod Podge string, wrap, 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 wrap. I'll be back. All right, so for the next part, while it's still wet with your Mod Podge, now is a good time to put on whatever bling you want. Because, Mod Podge is a glue. And if you need to add a little more, you add a little more. But I'm just going to randomly put some sequins on this one. And as I said, you can use, like flat backs. Flat back pearls look really cute because they almost look like, Christmas balls. Oh, well, no wonder that wouldn't stick. I had 2 of them. And that's just a dot of Mod Podge. But it helps. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bling this out the way I want. And then I am gonna actually set this outside to dry for about an hour, okay? Now, you can hit this with your heat tool if you feel the need, but you have to let it dry all the way through the twine, okay? So for the second one, we're gonna make this one a little bit different. This one I'm gonna do the top so that we don't have an opening. And I'm gonna be adding some green to this one. And I think I'm gonna make it smaller. So I'm not gonna go as far down the cone. I'm only gonna go down about 4 inches or so, 5 inches. So, you know, just to give myself a little contrast. So on this one, when I start, I'm gonna put my Mod Podge at the top. And then I'm going to take my jute. I'm going to put my jute at the top. And this is a T-pin. And I'm just going to use this to hold my jute down at the top. Just until I get started, okay? Alright, so Mod Podge on an inch or two of the top. And wrap. I can't put this on the floor because Harry plays with it. Okay. And back up. Now, since I have that secured, I can take that out. And I'm just going to put a couple of layers there and then just add my Mod Podge. See that string? I'm just going to Mod Podge it down. Now you can use your heavy gel medium to do this as well. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so I do have a couple of layers across the top. And then we're going to just start working our way back down again. At an inch or so, Mod Podge. And string, 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 string. And then Mod Podge. Now, if you were having your family come over, how much fun would these be? You could make one for each person in your family and then put a little label on it with their name and use them as like table setting. Right? Okay. A little bit more. We're going to go a little bit more on this one. Not much. We want to kind of cut right about there. Okay. So here we go. More wrapping. And that's going to be kind of my bottom. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wrap it 3-4 times in the same spot, just to give it a base. And then more Mod Podge. so now once I have this, and I have my thread all Mod Podged on, we're going to go back up the other way. Ooh. Yeah, that's just a hairy toy waiting to happen. All right, so I have that. Now I'm going to cut this. Mod Podge it on there. Now you don't have to use the jute if you don't want to, the burlap twines and stuff if you don't want to. If you want to do this with just yarn, you could do it with just yarn. It works really good with yarn, and that way you get some really nice color too. Okay, so then we're going to use this. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to cut some length of this. And again, we're just going to kind of put that on there. You can hold this with your pin if you don't want to get your fingers all sticky. There we go. Harry's over here playing in the bags of craft supplies I just brought in. All right. So Mod Podge. Now, if I want to put more string, I can put more string. If I want to put another color, I can put another color. And I'm thinking I'm going to put a little bit more green. There we go. And now I'm going to put this out and let it dry. Like I said, it takes about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours for it to dry, because you got a lot of Mod Podge on there, okay? Just make sure that you really have this bottom part sealed, because you don't want it to come unwrapped. And if you want to add any decorations, now's a good time to do it. If you don't want to do it now, you can do it later with hot glue, okay? That's entirely up to you. All right, so now this. All right, the moment has come. I promised you guys we'd play with this, and we're going to. But I don't want to mess. So I have a tray, which I'm misting with water. That way it sticks to the tray. Ah, see? All right. Good Lord, I'm going to do it. Here we go. So this has Mod Podge on it. It's still damp. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to immediately take this outside to dry. Okay. So now we don't want this getting, out of control. So we're going to close that up. And I'm going to take this whole pan and just put it into a bag to go to the trash. And then I'm going to spray a little bit of water on the paper, and that will keep anything that's on the paper from flying away. Because we don't want to get any of this residual toxic chemical, infectious disease on me. And then the final step of the process, a little cleanup. All right, there we go. Glitter with no mess. Now this will go out to the trash and it will be dumped, and then the pan will be cleaned. But for now, it is safely in the biohazard bag. If I had a biohazard bag, that's where it would be. All right, so those are going to dry, and when I come back, you're going to take a look at all three of them side by side, and we'll talk about the rest of it. I'll be back. Okay. All right, so let's get these undone. You just pull the plastic up around the form, and then hold this, and you're going to remove the form. Okay? And then you're going to go in here, get the inside of the plastic, and just unwrap it on the inside. Be gentle. Top back up. There we go. And then any place, that has a little too much Mod Podge at the bottom here, you just trim that up so it sits nice and even. And then this one, we're going to do a little bit of decorating. So what I have are some flat back red pearls. I'm just going to take these. I'm going to put my finger inside to back it a little bit to give it some pressure. And I can put it back on the form if I want to, just to give it some pressure. Oopsie. All right, that one does not want to go on. And if I need to use a little bit of glue, I can add a little bit of glue to get these to stick. There we go. And I could certainly use, I'm using flat back pearls, but I could absolutely use, you know, rhinestones if I want to. All right, so that's how we're going to decorate this one. And then we have this one. Now this is the one that we put the fake snow on. So again, I'm just taking the plastic, getting it up on the form here. Now, there is going to be a little bit of snow that's going to come off of this, so, you know, be gentle. And I left the handle on this one so I didn't have to grab onto this itself to do this, to pull it off. And again, I'm just going to unwrap it on the inside. I'm not putting any pressure. Just kind of coaxing that off of there. Okay. And this one I'll probably decorate up with like probably some gold. So I'm going to go and finish these, and I'll be right back to show you what they look like when they're all finished. Here they are, finished in the flesh. This is the first one that we did. It's the largest of the three. And this is the one we just put the sequins on it, you know, before we let it dry. And then I just tied some bows on here because I thought they were cute. This is the second one that we did where we kind of did the top as well. And this one just has some red flat back pearls with the green twine on that one. And then there's this one. And this is the one that we put the fake snow on, so it's all blingy blingy. And I added some green gemstones and red gemstones to this one, just to, you know, sparkle it up. All right, so that's, you know, where we're at. If you want to do this even a little bit more sparkly, you could certainly get a string of lights, put them inside, light them up, and then just tuck it underneath the plate with a little bit of greenery. It would make a great centerpiece for your Christmas table or on a mantle or something like that. But, you know, that's kind of up to you guys. I make the stuff, you make it pretty. To store these, I recommend that you put them back on the cones and wrap them in wax paper lightly, and then they'll hold their shape. Okay? And then, you know, next year you can just take the cones back out and use them again. That's it. That's all I have for you. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends. And your friends can be my friends. My friends can be your friends. And our friends can get to be friends before you know it. Giant crafting community. I go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And on Sundays, we play trivia. We give out prizes. So come on out and play with us. It's a great group of ladies. And I think you'll have a good time. I post videos twice a week, typically on Monday and Wednesday, but could be any day of the week. And if there's something special going on, I may post more than that. If you want to know what I have coming up, projects, classes, things like that, all you have to do is go to the community tab here on my YouTube channel, or in the description box below, there's a link over to my Facebook group. Go on over there. Great group of ladies. You can post your pictures of your projects and things like that, see what other people are working on. But there's also a featured article there that tells you everything that I'm doing, everything that's going on, all of my upcoming videos. So pretty easy to find that out. I am doing some classes. If you want information on those, make sure that when you ring the bell, you select the all notifications button. And that way you find out about them as soon as they come out. In addition to that, I'm doing a 12 of 22 journal challenge. And in my 12 of 22 journal challenge, you don't have to do 12 journals. If you want more information, go to the description box below, click on the link, cut, paste, whatever it is that you got to do. And get yourself over there and take a look at the little slideshow. It's going to give you all the information that you need on how to participate in that. You only need to participate once in order to be eligible for my thank you gifts at the end of the year. That's it. That's all I have for you until I see you again. Stay well. Bye-bye.